Here are my trainer tips for the push-up. Now I know everyone thinks they can do a push-up, or maybe they don't think they know how to do a push-up. Either way, this is for you. There's 3 components we're gonna look at first. The first component is understanding that the push-up is a core exercise first, not an upper body exercise. It's a core exercise first. So what I mean by that is we need to be able to get into a tall plank. The tall plank is the top portion. Okay, so the tall plank here, I need my shoulders over top of my wrists without hyperextending the elbows. And notice how I am not back this way, and I'm not too far forward this way. I'm over top of the wrists. From there, I've got a straight line all the way down from my heels, my head to my heels through the tailbone. I am not sinking. I am not bowing up here. I've got that Goldilocks position. Tall plank's the first part. You've got to have the core strength. The second part to this is the movement. Now the movement is going to depend on your upper body strength, maybe a little bit of your core strength too. The second part is going to be getting your shoulder blades to move through what's called a scapular push-up or a scapular retraction. So what this is I'm squeezing the shoulder blades together and then I'm separating them. Squeezing them together and separating them. What I am not doing, shrugging, okay? What I'm not doing is bending the elbows. So it's important you get that scapular retraction or protraction, which is essentially the push and pull, before you get into the movement, because this is where most people fail. Especially when they lose that upper body strength, they begin to shrug, and this is not good for the neck. So this is gonna move us into the movement itself. Now I'm using a box. I think a lot of you might not have one of these in your kitchen or living room, but you can use stairs, you can use a chair. Don't use a wall because you need your head to pass through it. Higher is better to start if you haven't done this before. So back to point 2 here, the scapular push-up. So I get into my tall plank position. And then I'm going to squeeze the shoulder blades together and separate the shoulder blades. Squeeze them together and separate. Notice how I'm not shrugging and I am not bending my elbows. I am isolating this movement through the shoulder blades. This is one of the most common mistakes, is not getting that shoulder stability down first and foremost. Okay, now we go into the third portion, and this is going to be the movement standard. So we get into our tall plank, we understand the scapular retraction. Again, starting from the high side here, I'm gonna lower myself down. Chest has to come down to this object and press back up. It's a chair, it's a stairs, whatever it is. Notice how I'm staying in my tall plank position, not sagging, not bowing. Okay, I'm in a straight line. I've got my arrow position. I come down, I press back up. I squeeze the shoulder blades together. I keep them squeezed together, and then I press apart at the top. I've got my elbows fully extended, okay, and I'm straight. Now, from here, all we need to do to make this tougher is go down to the floor. But if you can't do this from an elevated surface, don't go down to the floor yet. You're gonna get there. So what we wanna do here, I can always lower this box onto a different height, but just to show you from the floor, all the same mechanics apply. Tall plank position, shoulders over the wrists. I'm gonna squeeze the shoulder blades together. I'm gonna come down. I get my chin, chest, and hips touching the ground at the same time. I fully extend. Just chin, chest, and hips, down, and up. Some of you, your quads might hit first, that's fine, as long as it all comes off at the same time. What I mean by same time is when I come up, I can't press like so and up, because then I've lost my tall plank position, which is the first part to this. Common mistakes, aside from what's already been mentioned, hyperextending the elbows. Okay, if you're hyperextending the elbows, you're putting a lot of the pressure in the elbows and you are not using musculature, you're using your skeletal system. Next big mistake is not fully locking out. So if you only come up to here with your push-up, you're missing the full range of motion. And then of course, the third most common mistake, and really you could substitute all these, is not going all the way down or not getting one part or all the parts down. Okay, making sure you've got a nice straight line. So let's recap this quickly. We've got our first tall plank position, second scapular position, and then third, the movement, chest, chin, hips, full extension, all the way up. So now you know what my standards are. Make them your standards. This is how you do a push-up. See you in the next one.